Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly die, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. Ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and you best show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's up, then don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumper where the dame late, punch a train. Post game, big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the ref just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly die, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly die, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. Shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all. For all things Pelicans, you're now tuned into the Pelican Post-Game Report. We up in this thing. Shout out to the fam. In this one, Spurs, they trade Josh Richardson to the Pelicans. We'll recap this trade here on the Pelican Post-Game Report. I'm Big Q. I got my co-host DC in the building. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to you guys for being here. DC, man, listen. Finally, the deal happened where the Pelicans finally moved and made a play. They got Graham gone. Everybody else, Jackson Hayes is still here, and others are here. But Graham
I can't tell. Q, nobody don't seem happy. I thought when Graham left, everybody would be happy. I'm happy.
Graham is gone, man.
Nobody seems excited by this.
Yeah, it's the and the thing is, a lot of people thought, well, looking at Josh Richardson and thinking, man, they were looking for something else, but Toronto flim-flammed a lot of people, man. They didn't move nobody, of any importance. They didn't do anything. We're going to recap all of the trades that occurred. We'll go over that. We'll also make the comparison between Josh Richardson.
We could have got the little guy from Atlanta and paid $125 million. No,
the little guy from Atlanta. Who you talking about?
Damn, he's that irrelevant, Big Q. You don't even know his name?
I'm just saying, you put some names out there. You talking about John Collins?
There you go. See, your memory ain't as bad as I thought.
See, you're forgetting, sir. You're forgetting that that's a running gag that the Hawks play on everybody at the league every damn year. That guy is always on the trade.
Hey, you know what had me on the floor laughing? When they said 5 minutes before the trade deadline was over that they've decided not to trade John Collins. Oh, you mean nobody didn't want him? Right. For what y'all was asking? Okay.
Right. So
that's right. T say he happy. That's what's up, dog.
All right. So shout out to the fam, man. Appreciate y'all being in the building on this one, man. We'll get your guys' reaction too. See what you guys think.
Okay.
About
Pelicans NOLA. I love Pelicans, the trade.
NOLA, Elite Pelicans NOLA, State of the Pelicans, Jessica, Matthew, Michael, Chase,
what's that?
Mike, what's happening? Mike Garcia, shout out to you, my friend. 504 Cole, Youngblood 46, Mary Kay, Brandon,
And T, what's up, bro? Shout out to you, Alexa. What's up, Queen 504? I think our name is Stephanie. What's up, baby? So we're gonna recap that. But this
What's
is
happening, Mitchell and Jessica?
Thing. What's up, Young City?
Lee Goods, DJ.
Pelicans acquire Josh Richardson from the Spurs, and this is pretty much what they gave up. They gave up Devonte Graham and his $11 million contract and 4 second-round draft picks. Now, I did see one of the writers at
Big Q
draft pick that they sent to get him.
This ain't the trade. I thought we was gonna go over the Cam Reddish to the Blazers trade.
I ain't say nothing about Cam. So y'all see DC bringing Cam Reddish up there. I ain't say nothing about Cam Reddish.
He playing with Shaden Sharp.
DC.
Why that's funny, man?
You tickle behind that, bro.
I said, man, what type of damn wizardry this is, man? Big Q had to have something to do with this. They done traded the man to the Blazers with Shaden Sharp, bro. Can you believe that? Say, boy, I ain't gonna never hit the end of this shit.
That's right.
Every time we play the Blazers, oh man, I know I ain't gonna never hit the end of it.
There you go. You got Shady. That's DC's new Dominique Wilkins, Shady Al Sharp, and Cam Reddish is next to him. Oh, all right. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna recap all this, fam. We're gonna recap this, but first let's go into
I thought for sure there's a trade you were about to pull up though. I said, damn, I could have been quiet. I could have been quiet. Let that one go.
Yeah, that was too funny, man. But anyway, Josh Richardson for Devonte Graham and 4 second-round picks the Pelicans gave up to get Graham off the team. And of course, this is what you get.
Wait, how many second-round picks?
4 second-round picks.
So Devonte Graham cost us a first-round pick, $30 million, and 4 second-round picks. God damn.
Yes, indeed. That was
a pretty bad move, bro.
That was a bad move, bro. But credit to the Pelicans for understanding that and getting him on up out of here. We knew it was a matter of time. And Graham,
come on, Q. You can't act like you surprised. We had Eric Bledsoe. We had Steven Adams. We will burn up some picks getting shit right.
But listen, bro, they gave the man every opportunity to do something, and he just settled into a third-string role and was really comfortable. Yeah. When Jose took his job, what was his fire rate to fight for it? He laid it down, bro.
Oh, he gonna need some fire now. They're gonna be putting that fire to his ass over there in San Antonio.
There you go.
Gotta try to play if you want to stay into the league.
So Pope Pop gets him right, but that ain't our concern no more. We'll smoke him when we see him. But Josh Andrews for Devonte Graham and 4 second-round picks what the Pelicans gave up. This is what you get in Josh Andrews. This is his numbers. He's a 6'6", 200-pound forward guard. I say guard first, forward. Well, actually a guard. From Tennessee, a former second-round draft pick. He is listed day-to-day. Of course, they kind of settled for this trade. He averages 11.5 points per game, almost 3 rebounds, 3.3 on assists, and shoot 43.6% from the field. What is his 3-point shooting so far this year?
It's not good this year.
It's about 36%.
He shot 40% maybe 2 or 3 years in a row, though, I think. It can go up a lot with BI and Zion, man. Josh Richardson is a good player, man. I don't know if a lot of people remember him, but I remember the Miami team before Jimmy Butler got over there, and how that brother was balling out. Enough so, while they sent some picks and they sent him, they was able to get Jimmy Butler. That's the guy who they traded, to Philadelphia to get Jimmy Butler, along with some other stuff too. Well, I ain't gonna act like it was just him, but he was balling out then, and I've seen him ball out a lot of times. He's just not nobody that can lead a team or anything like that, obviously, but he's been a solid starter at points in his career, and I think as a role player, man, this is an excellent pickup, to be honest.
It is a good pickup for the Pelicans, man. The guy could play, man. And Alexa astutely mentioned,
that's right, Alexa.
Jay Rich ended by surpassing Justin Winslow, and became because he was Justice Winslow. I'm sorry, because he perfected his offensive game, but he was drafted for his defense. That is true. He was
right. Yeah, he's a good defender. Mm-hmm. And he's what you call, he'd be a 3-and-D guy that can create his own shot. He can create his own shot too.
So we get this guy here. A lot of the family members were saying, "Hey, man, Q, we was looking for Anunoby or one of these other fellas. Well, guess what? Toronto was playing games. But I'm just putting these two players back to back, family, and this is what you get. We just seen Jay Rich, and you get, and this is what you get. Let's see if this is a good move. Let's see if this is a good move. DC, Josh Richardson, Devonte Graham.
Q,
Josh
you
Richardson,
can pretty much
Devonte Graham. Josh Richardson, Devonte Graham. I think this is a win if you think about it, family.
I think there's like 200 players in the NBA you can literally do this for, bro. We be saying the same thing.
It's crazy, man.
Oh,
but
man.
Anyway, the asking if whether it's a good trade. It is a good trade for the Pelicans. They get the big contract.
It's a great trade
off the team. We gave up four second-round picks to move them up out of here to free up them that money. So that was a really good move. And to get somebody that
we ain't got to worry about
now.
what we're going to do with all them seconds because we had an overabundance of picks. Like, we're going to get to a point where we can't draft all of these players. So I feel better doing this than to see them just give up the picks for cash consideration on draft night. So that's all it was going to be.
Yeah, not bad at all, man. I actually enjoy it. I think this will be a good pickup for the Pelicans. Let me see if I can kind of get the depth chart right here to show you. DC's favorite new team is Portland, of course, but if you take a look at this, the Pelicans team, you can see.
Wait, hold up, bro. That had nothing to do with the depth chart. What, like, why are you doing that?
Because I had it on the Portland Trailblazers.
That was so random.
It was still on the Trailblazers with Shady on Sharp.
That was an accident. That was an accident.
Nah, DC. Your two favorite people ended up on the same team, bro.
You did that.
All right, so anyway,
Big Q, you should have put in a call to get us a defensive center, bro, instead of trying to clown me, man, and come up with funny articles for the show.
DC, I was trying to get Gafford, give him to get Gafford or Nas Reed. I was trying to get.
What about Nick Claxton? You ain't make a call about Nick Claxton?
They won't give up Claxton. They seen Claxton as the future. They ain't won't give up Claxton. I threw Claxton out there, but you know that the Pelicans say, "Nah, we good because we're not gonna move Billy. We're not moving Jackson, so we're just gonna stick and stay with what we got." But this is what it looks like, family, right now, as you can see.
Wait, we didn't want to move Jax, really?
Jack's still on the team, my friend. So Jose Alvarado was the first guy off the bench. You see Josh Richardson right there below Jose Alvarado. They got Dyson Daniels at the 3 position with Najee Marshall and Larry Nance coming off the bench. Now, of course, you can adjust that. Like you can have I guess you can have a rotation where you can move Jackson where Larry is and move Larry up to the 4. So you could play with it depending on, how you look. But look at the 3-guard look coming off the bench once everybody gets good with Jose, Josh Richardson, and Dyson Daniels. How about that? You look, Jay Rich is 6'6", Dyson is 6'7", coming up off the bench, and then you got Najee Marshall and Larry Nance. That's not a bad look.
It's almost like if somebody get hurt, we'll still be all right.
Yeah, he gets the 11.5 points off the game, 11.5 off the bench, which helps out your scoring there. I think this was this was a pretty good move. It wasn't no big name to blow you out of the park, but this was a solid trade by the Pelicans to remove a guy that wasn't very productive offensively speaking and get one that is productive offensively speaking and defensively speaking. So this is a very solid trade for the Pelicans, and really they just surrendered Devonte Graham's hefty contract and his non-productivity in terms of his offense and 4 second-round picks, which you could flip a coin on them or however you want to use them. But anyway, DC, final suggestion on this: we got to cover the rest of the trades that happened and the rest. But looking at the depth chart, it does give you some idea how the Pelicans look, and we still are lacking some of our guys. Like Zion and Dyson, they're both out, but eventually these guys will return. And we're going to look at some of these other trades and we'll kind of react to them because a lot of these things, DC, the other teams were doing, like the Dallases and the Phoenix Suns people were doing, was to try to keep up with the Pelicans because they see what we've been saying for years now is that the Pelicans, when they get on the other side of the All-Star break, we're going to talk about Zion Williamson not playing in the All-Star break, playing after the All-Star break. We're going to talk about that after the point, but DC, last thought on this before we go to the rest of these trades, man.
Yeah, ultimately, man, there's things you would have wanted them to do more. You can come up with better players and all of this stuff, what we've seen happen and what we've seen a lot of people go for. But keep in mind, family, when we started this, we checked David Griffin on a lot of his lies and doing all of this, but one thing I could say that he wasn't lying about, and it's showing, and I think it can benefit us with the players and the trust of the organization, is that we're trying to build a family environment, our atmosphere here, and build things organically. We've stuck in true to that model, and I think bringing in a guy like this to get rid of a guy that obviously didn't work for you, and to do that while obviously they wanted to stay under the luxury tax. Let's be real, because we could have got some other players. They didn't want to spend the money and make a move and I guess mess up the future, or possibly make the wrong move and make another mistake, a la Eric Bledsoe, a la Steven Adams, a la Devonte Graham. So I think with the a lot of the people being gone that you probably would have wanted to get, I'm sure it maybe made a phone call about Malik Bridges. Obviously, we know we were trying to get OG Anunoby, which he wound up going to nobody. Needed Malik Bridges. I don't know if they made that call about Gafford or a lot of these other people. Surely they didn't make the call to Detroit, because Detroit got like 5 centers now. So I know we could have gotten Nerlens Noel, I'm sure. But Josh Richardson is a good player, somebody we can use, a good three-point shooter. Don't sleep on his three-point shooting ability. He can create his own shot. It's a damn good defender. And I think in the event you're dealing with injuries to Zion, Dyson Daniels, injuries happen, especially to the Pels. So it's kind of hard to believe we're going to play 28, 27 games to the playoffs. Nobody else is going to get hurt. Somebody may get hurt in the playoffs. This is a guy you can pretty much play 1 through 3. So we have added depth in a player you can kind of plug in, and I think we'll be able to transition and play alongside of anybody in the lineup. And I think it's just a smart move. Low risk, medium reward. Wouldn't say low reward, but definitely not high reward. But I think it's a lot of benefit, and we are a better team, honestly, than we were with what we had before.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. Big time, DC. And you definitely right on the money matters of the luxury and all that. And you're absolutely right on that. They didn't want to dip into that. And the Pelicans have a pretty solid unit. And pretty much what they're doing is this team is put together to win right now. They want to make a run at it. And they have a window that they're going to operate within, and it's set, and they're just building it the correct way. So this was, like I said, I like the trade. I always liked Josh Richardson. I was surprised. I heard some previous rumors that they were considering Josh Richardson, but at the end of the day, they closed the deal on it, which I congratulate the Pelicans brass for reaching out and getting this guy and moving Graham out of here to get him. So you get rid of Graham's money, and Josh really don't make – I don't think his money is not really – he don't make a lot of. How's his money, DC? What's Graham? Let me see if I can.
He's making about the same as Devonte, because obviously you got to match salaries, but his contract is expiring at the end of the year. So
right, okay.
So
cool.
You know, if you're not going to re-sign him, that's money you can get off the books to stay under the luxury tax. That was I think one of the main points of this move, as well as getting rid of Devonte Graham, because let's be honest, we're not about to go into the luxury tax for Devonte Graham, right? So this is the move. I think if you couldn't do nothing else, like you said, you had been hearing about this move. This was the move that they had lined up if they couldn't figure out any of the other things that they probably were trying to work out. Like I kept hearing all the connections with us with Toronto, but Toronto wasn't serious. They were just using us and other teams to kind of see where their talent level was or how people perceived their players. So when they do decide to make a move in the summer, they have a better, I guess, portfolio of information to see how they're going to go about things. So they was just capping. But shout out to my man, the Sauce Store, LLC. I like the trade. Jay Rich going to do his thing. Gives you more than Gary Trent Jr. I don't know about gives you more, but I think they are kind of comparable players, honestly. Mm-hmm. Gary Trent to me is a better three-point shooter, but so that's gonna make him a better scorer, more than Jay Rich. But Jay Rich is a better defender. You know, Gary Trent Jr. is younger, he's older. So I think it's, you know, Jay Rich is good, man, bearing the circumstances, and I think he can definitely help. And you didn't really have to give up much of anything to get him. All those second-round picks, we're just going to give them away for cash consideration. Let's be honest, family.
Yeah, it helps us now is the thing, man. And that's the cool part about getting Josh Richardson here. I mean, he's a guy that can definitely help the guys off the bench. And plus, like you said, a depth piece in case of injury to whoever we got in the starting lineup. If we need somebody to come in, and DC, think about it like this too. What if Josh Richardson could be a guy that can kind of step in the starting lineup, perhaps? Let's kind of play with this idea for a second. Does Josh Richardson play well enough? Could he supplant Herb, push Herb out of there? And if he's scoring better and playing some good defense, could he possibly be substitute for Josh for Herb Jones in the starting lineup if you need him?
I'm gonna say no, and hell no. Willie Green would never do that, man.
If he needs offense, he got
Willie Green ain't gonna do that. Q. We know that coach is loyal to his guys, and whatever his plan is. And we've seen Herb. I think maybe over the last 4 games, he's probably had 2 really good games. Especially offensively. So he's starting to look a lot better, honestly. And coach, you heard him talking about that. Herb is starting to look more like the Herb we're accustomed to, and this and that. I don't think it's a snowball's chance in hell he cracks the starting lineup. But what I do know is if Josh Richardson is just playing awesome and outstanding, I'm sure coach will find a way to get him more minutes. I think he's rational and reasonable enough to be able to do that. If he's just lighting it up from the 3-point line, because that's really what it is, man. It's going to come down to who can play D first, and then who can knock down shots. I know, you might say it should be the other way around. A lot of us probably would think that, but that's not the way that Willie Green operates, man. You got to be top tier defensively first, and then he'll deal with whatever you're bringing on the offensive end second. Devonte Graham was a perfect example of that. As much as we didn't like Devonte Graham and campaign for Kyrie minutes and all of this, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, family, Devonte Graham looked really good defensively this year. He looked really good defensively.
That's what you're basing it on, the trash years, DC, when him getting pushed off of there.
Well, not just that. I mean, he was very handsy. Every time he was out there, I seen him contributing to getting steals. He's taking charges. He's in the right place. Before he came here, when we was evaluating him, we said a lot of people said his defense was his downfall, and we looked at the numbers and said, no. Devonte Graham could be a pretty solid defender, and I think he showed a lot of that. He just couldn't get more than 5 points. But because of that kept Willie Green to keep on playing him. So I'm saying all that to say this, man. Herb Jones, that too. Herb Jones is the best defensive player on this team. And I don't think trading for a guy that's, how old is Josh Richardson? 29, 28, who's in an expiring contract.
29.
Is going to move him to the starting lineup. I don't see it. If anything, man, I'm stepping out on a limb saying this, but my belief is if anybody could take that starting position from Herb, it'll be somebody like Dyson Daniels or Trey Murphy. Trey Murphy's been playing awesome, but he don't do enough defensively.
Right.
If he increases that, then yeah, he can get it. We know Dice does enough defensively, but he got to pick his offense up. He showed the ability to be able to hit open 3-pointers with a set shot. He can't pull up, and he don't really have any type of mid-range or nothing. He's finishing at the basket, still needs a little work. Got a nice little floater, and he can't get to the line, so he showed some things there. But my money would be on one of those 2 guys, man, to take a spot from Herb over Richardson.
Well, only thing I can tell you is I've seen Josh Richardson play. He's good defensively, and when he gets hot, he'll tear you up. Offensively speaking, and he can shoot that 3. Now, his career percentage shooting the 3 is like 36%, 35.5, or you round it off at like 36, 37% is what he shoots. But I've seen him play where he tear you up from downtown. He getting that rhythm. So he's definitely a player that will fit Coach Green's style, because then he don't have no problem playing defense. That's for certain. All right, let's go through the rest of these trades, man. I don't want to forget the rest of this. The Clippers acquire. Then they finally got rid of Eric Gordon. He sent them to the Clippers. And last time I check, I think Gordon didn't he come from the Clippers? Well, he's I think he was with the Clippers.
Yes, he did.
And now he's going back there.
He came from the Clippers to go to New Orleans to try to go to Phoenix to wind up in Houston. And
you can blame your homeboy Dale Demps for keeping a guy who didn't want to be here. Clippers.
Oh, we were so mad about that, man.
Yeah, I'm done with it though.
And I would love to know how many games he played after that.
I don't know, but I remember.
I just wanted to say that before you move on. Calm down, bro.
Eric Gordon stinks, bro. So I don't want to talk about Eric Gordon. He garbage. But Houston Rockets
that made you mad?
Yes, it did. Danny Green. They get Danny Green, and Danny Green's mad because he's going to Houston. Gordon is happy because he's going to Clipper country with 3 second-round picks, rights to swap with the Clippers, and Grizzlies get Luke Kennard to get the shooter. So that's one. DC, you want to comment on this before we move it?
Not really.
All right.
I don't think those move the needle. Obviously a good trade for the Clippers. That was smart to get Eric Gordon. And the Grizzlies getting
a shooter.
Kennard.
Yeah, he can't play defense, but he can shoot.
But they owe him $30 million over the next 2 years. Unless they're gonna put him in a trade, it's just not smart.
Well, we'll see, because I think they're looking at the Pelicans, man. A lot of these teams looking at the Pelicans over their shoulder, to be honest with you. The Lakers.
Well, they put Luke Kennard out there. We're going to tear his ass up.
Oh, yeah, he sucks. But the Lakers and Magic swap for Bamba and Beverly. So the Lakers get Mo Bamba for Pat Beverly. That was an interesting one right there, DC. So they get Mo Bamba to back up plainclothes Davis, man. So when he gets an opportunity to sit down if he has an injury, then you got Mo Bamba coming up in there doing something. So the Lakers making some sneaky moves to try to improve their team and make a push into the playoffs there. Another one.
Anthony Davis is handicapped, Q. He has a degenerative issue called lack of confidenceism. So he's always going to be hurt. And then they want him to play center, man. That man ain't never going to be happy doing that. And I don't think Mo Bamba changes that.
Well, it does make it interesting, though, DC, if you want to play Mo Bamba and AD together, though. It does. I
think they'll probably play Vanderbilt and AD together before.
That'll be a good one, too. That'll be a good one, too. Because Mo Bamba now shoots the 3-point and you can move AD to the 4. So they do have a little something they can think about doing. A 3-team deal struck between the Warriors, Pistons, and Hawks. Hawks gets Sadiq Bey. How about that? Detroit gets James Wiseman. They loaded with centers. And Golden State Warriors get Kevin Knox and 5 second-round picks. And you thought you had it tough giving up 4. They gave up 5 of them to get that guy out of there. So Atlanta, Sadiq Bey, that's really interesting. Detroit gets Wiseman at the center position ahead of the big center they picked up last year in the first round. And it all very interesting.
So wait, who gave up the 5 picks? Because it says the Warriors got 5 picks. So I guess Detroit gave up 5 second-rounders?
I don't know exactly the specifics of it. They might be combined.
I don't understand what Detroit's doing. So they gave up 5 second-round picks and Sadiq Bey? Or I guess maybe Atlanta gave up 5 second-round picks to get Sadiq Bey? Like, I don't understand what's going on here. But anyway, smart move by Atlanta. I guess a so-so move by the Warriors. They kind of had to get off of him because he just wasn't working for them, man. They've been trying that experiment for like the last 3 years. The dude might be ultra talented. Detroit might look smart for this, but they look a little dumb to me for the fact that they already got like 5. They got 5 centers now. Like, I don't understand.
Got a lot of centers, man.
What they're trying to do with all of these centers, man. I don't know if they can see the future and the league is going back to like the 1980s or something. I don't know what's on their mind, but smart move by Atlanta.
Yeah. Atlanta also, DC, and another one, Garrison Matthews and Bruno Fernando, they get them from, and they give up the Hawks, Justin Holiday. So Holiday is going to the Rockets along with Frank Kaminsky, and they also give him 2 second-round picks. So you got that one. The Bones Highland trade sent him to the Clippers. Move. So Bones Highland goes to the Clips along with, and the Clippers, DC, they're building up a squad. They're trying to make a run along with them old Lakers. 2 second-round picks.
Yeah, they trying, man. So they got a lot of scoring.
They do. You had Gordon, and now you had Bones Highland along there with these other guys. I don't know what the health situation of John Wall there. I don't know if he's playing. Is Wall still out there?
They traded John Wall back to the Houston Rockets. Go figure. just some stuff,
Go
bro.
back to hell, man. That's
I'll
just
never,
telling them.
I'll never understand it, bro.
Yeah, I was like,
And
yeah,
if you're Houston, like, why? I guess they gave them. I don't get it, bro. Why would Houston even want John Wall back? For one, like,
I don't know why they would. I don't get that either. Just people just doing stuff. Okay, here go another one. Pacers, Bucks next strike a 3-team deal. Brooklyn gets 2 second-round picks. Everybody love them second-round picks. Indiana gets George Hill. So George Hill goes back to the Pacers. Serge Ibaka along with Jordan Nwora and 3 second-round picks.
Man,
and then Milwaukee gets Jay Crowder. So Jay Crowder he's with Milwaukee. That's an interesting one. They get Jay Crowder there with the Bucks, man.
I'm starting to think second-round picks are monopoly money, man. That's how
they work
like they're just handing them shits out, man. Just second round, 5 here, 4 here, 3 here.
Oh yeah, it's going down, man. That's interesting.
Wow.
But George Hill goes back to the Pacers. He done really good there. Ineffective Serge Ibaka. He goes there. So not much to talk about that one. Blazers land Thibault in a 3-team trade. He ends up with Portland, so he follows DC's guy Cam Reddish to Portland along with Shadion Sharp. And then, of course, Philly gets Jalen McDaniels and some more second-round picks. And then Charlotte gets who they got from the Lakers. Well, that guy used to play for the Lakers, I want to say. With 2 second-round picks, so you got that one. So it looked like Portland won on that deal, DC. They got Matisse there, man.
Yeah. Pretty damn good move by Portland and Philly because what Philly loses in defense, they pick up in offense with Jalen McDaniels. He's a pretty damn good player too, and then they come out of the deal getting some monopoly money and those 2 second-round picks. I just don't understand the benefit for Charlotte. They seem to be the ones that got shafted in this trade. They gave up McDaniels and got back who? And 2 second-round picks. So I guess maybe they knew McDaniels wasn't going to be there. I don't know if his contract was expiring or something.
I don't know. He might have asked to be traded. You never know.
Maybe so.
All right, let's move to the next one. Lakers, Nuggets swap backups. Thomas Bryant. Who you remember Thomas Bryant? DC played for the Wizards for a little bit. He was a pretty decent big there. I think he had some injury problems in LA, and then they trade him for a guy named Devon Reed and 3 more second-round picks. So there you go. So the Lakers just getting involved, man, making moves. They get Devon Reed, a guard, to help them out.
Good move by Denver to get Thomas Bryant. I think that's very smart on their part.
And back up the Joker, huh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, next one, Celtics.
Possibly play with him. I could see a lineup where they play together.
That would be interesting, man. That would be interesting. Celtics add big man Mike Muscala. There you go. In Oklahoma gets Justin Jackson and 2 second-round picks right there. So the Celtics get a big that can kind of stretch the flow for them there. So that's interesting. Suns acquired, and this is the big one, DC. Suns acquired Durant in blockbuster trade. They said that the Suns get Kevin Durant. What's that? They got TJ Warren up there. Is TJ Warren in that trade too?
Yeah, man.
I didn't know that he was in a trade there. So there you go. So hold on. Is he? So Durant and TJ Warren are in Phoenix and Brooklyn. Didn't TJ Warren start out in Phoenix? These guys are just going back to where didn't Warren start in Phoenix? Y'all put it in the chat because I remember this.
If he played for him at one point in time, if he didn't,
I think he was drafted by them. Yeah, he was drafted by him, so he going back the way he started, just like Russell did. So Kevin Durant, TJ Warren,
trade deadline, man.
Yeah, Brooklyn Nets get Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder, who we just talked about. He just got traded again. 4 first-round picks and the 2028 pick swap. So DC, this is a big one. So Kevin Durant, TJ Warren going back home. Let's talk about this one here.
Well, the first thing that comes to mind, man, and I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. The first thing I think about, Q, you know the first thing I think about? Minnesota and Rudy Gobert. So y'all traded 5 first-round picks to get Rudy Gobert, and this is all it took to get
oh man,
Kevin Durant and TJ Warren, which is a lot. I'm not saying that Brooklyn didn't get compensated good. It's just funny to me that Rudy Gobert can go for 5 picks and KD don't go for at least 5 on top of the players, because it was 5 picks and a bunch of players too that were actually good, like Jared Vanderbilt, that the Lakers were just going goo goo gaga over, and Malik Beasley. It's crazy to me. But more about this trade, man. I think this is an awesome move for Phoenix. Obviously, if you can get Kevin Durant, and this is all you have to do, I mean, you do it. If you're a team that's in position to be able to contend, and he wants to be there, I think it's very smart. But it's still it hurts for them to give up Malik Bridges, and he sounded like he was kind of hurt about it. Like he couldn't believe he was being traded. They give up those first round draft picks, so they're all in. So now it's pretty much on Devin Booker and Chris Paul to be able to guide this thing home. Hopefully they can, well, not hopefully, we don't give a shit over here, but maybe they can fix their chemistry issues with Devonte Aiden. He seems like a guy that didn't want to be there. But the whole thing about Chris Paul being washed now can be put to bed because he don't have to do the scoring no more. So all he got to do is set the table,
the ball, and hit wide open shots.
That benefits them. This is going to be a team that looks to outscore you. Their defense will still be formidable with DeAndre Ayton, and you got what's your man Torrey Craig? You said still over there, Q?
Yep, he does.
So this is a dangerous team, but everything still got to go right. I see, one of their major guys getting hurt. I think it messes up a lot, but I don't see them as being invincible like a lot of people are putting them now. They're the ultimate championship contenders. They're going to win the title. I don't believe all of that shit. They ain't played a game yet. I think we done seen this too many times. Remember the Nets was supposed to go straight to the finals?
Yeah.
When they ain't even they barely made the conference finals, So we're going to see how all this plays out, but on paper, man, great move for Phoenix. They still don't scare me with the Pelicans as long as we're fully healthy, but if we run into one of our guys being out, this is a very tough matchup.
Yep. Next one, Raptors land Jakob Poeltl from the Spurs. So they get Poeltl for Kim Birch, a 2024 first-round pick and 2 second-round picks. So this is Poeltl finally gets it going, and he ends up back where he started from because I think he came from the Spurs, if I'm not mistaken. Poeltl was drafted by the Spurs.
He came, he was drafted by Toronto. That's what you're trying to say?
Yeah, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Was he drafted by? I'm sorry. Wasn't he? Yeah, he was. See, this is crazy, man.
So these persons we could tell you don't know what the hell you're talking about, bro. We like the 6-7 seed right now. So
yeah, man, it's crazy. That guy. Yeah, he was drafted by the Toronto. He ended up now going back home. So that a lot of these type trades have happened, man. For this one, this is DC's favorite one of the day. The Knicks send Cam Reddish to the Blazers for Josh Hart. How about that? So the Knicks get a real good player, and Josh Hart, they'll give him some heart in New York because they need that. Portland, Cam Reddish, DC's happy about that, and they got a couple other players there.
This is probably one of the most even trades. One of the most even trades of the day, DC, man.
Go ahead, talk about your dog.
The Knicks get Josh Hart, man, and he gets to be united with Jalen Brunson. I mean, if you saw the video on Twitter, he seemed to be so excited to get Josh Hart back. I think that makes them a better team, especially with a lot of people leaving the East. We might see something special with the Knicks, man. It's going to be playoff basketball for him because we know Josh Hart going to play hard-nosed basketball. They're going to play defense. Think his offense will go up playing with Jalen Brunson. Those two guys know how to play together. Great move for the Knicks. Also a good move for Portland, man. They get a first-round draft pick. They sucked that other guy. Isn't this the same guy that went to Charlotte? Sylvia McCormick?
I think that guy.
How do you pronounce that?
I don't know. I ain't going to try, but yeah, him.
I don't know who the hell Randon Senior is, but they get the first round pick. Then they get Cam Reddish, guy they could bring off the bench, potentially get something out of. Maybe they can recreate that spark he had with Atlanta. And just overall fair trade on both sides.
All right, I'm going to run through the rest of these, man, and then you just give your thoughts on them. Lakers trade Westbrook in a 3-team trade. D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, Jared Vanderbilt. That's a solid move. And then the Lakers get those guys. Minnesota gets Connolly and NAW, 3 second-round picks, and the Jazz get Russell Westbrook. And they get Juan Toscano Anderson and Damian Jones, and a 2027 first-round pick the Jazz get for those guys. So the Lakers get D'Angelo Russell back. That's another thing. Malik Beasley, who's another good player, and Vanderbilt, who's a guy that always seems to get the Pelicans problems. he ends up with LeBron James as they help to kind of build up that roster out there. The Lakers making some real serious moves to improve their depth. And man, let me tell you something. They don't look quite the same, do they?
No, man, they look totally different. Still funny to me, Minnesota, man. You give up D'Lo, and that's the best you could do. You take on Mike Conley, which I guess is kind of good because he knows how to play with Rudy Gobert. I think that's really a good player for them to get. But it's clear to me, man, that, you know, we seen LeBron score the points and all of that. There's some sentimental shit going on. Whatever, everybody feels sorry for LeBron. They want him to be able to at least make the playoffs. So
yeah, it don't make sense.
We probably won't be able to clown the Lakers as bad.
Dude.
Man, they just giving them good players too.
D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, and they get
Jared
Vanderbilt and
Mo Bamba.
Dude, they refitted. Look at this.
For one first and a bunch of seconds.
They got D'Angelo Russell.
We gave up 4 seconds just to get rid of a nigga.
They got D'Angelo Russell who's gonna be at the point. Malik Beasley at 2, man, along with LeBron. They already traded for Roy Hachimura early on. And then their bench has Jared
Somebody
Vanderbilt,
made a phone call, bro.
Man, it's ridiculous for what they gave up.
This the opposite of when they vetoed the Chris Paul trade from them. This is the opposite thing going on. So I guess maybe this is to help them for that time when they vetoed the trade that we had with them to send Chris Paul to the Lakers, which obviously was a better trade than what we wound up ending up with from the Clippers. So they vetoed that trade and gave us a worse selection of assets from the Clippers. But they definitely made up with it for this.
Nothing. They gave up nothing to land these
Utah.
guys.
Utah really gets nothing out of this.
Nothing.
One first round pick in 2027, and they had all the assets, and then they got to spend $25-something million for that to probably buy all Russ, and then Minnesota gets Mike Conley, 3 seconds, and NAW. It just don't seem fair for what they had to give up. To the other teams. The Lakers are getting everything, and they didn't really give up much.
Man, once again, look what these people did, man. They got Russell. This is what they anticipate the depth chart.
First and some monopoly money, Q. That's all it took.
Russell and Beasley at 1 and 2. They basically they got their starters. Russell and Beasley at 1 and at 2. And then of course the bench. They add on guys to help out with Schroeder and Lonnie Walker. Jared Vanderbilt's a good player, and Mo Bamba as the backup for Anthony Davis. Mm-hmm. You know, that looks totally.
Wait, hold up. How you not gonna talk about Malik Beasley, and he also has his stepson on the team, Scottie Pippen Jr. You forgot about that?
Yeah, how about that?
So they got that man on the team. This man sleeping with your mama, and he's your teammate. And that's wild. You would think out of respect they'd have just traded Scottie Pippen Jr. But nonetheless.
Yeah, I think Scottie Pippen Jr. might have some problems over there. But anyway, let's keep it going.
I'll be pissed off. We'll see a recreation of that Draymond Green video.
Kings get Edwards from Nets, so Sacramento gets Keesler Edwards, cash consideration, draft rights to David Michinu, whoever that is. The Heat send Dwight Dedman to San Antonio for cash considerations. They also gave up a 2028 second round pick.
Man, you know you bad when you can't even get traded for a pick.
Give us some money, you can have it.
God damn.
And then this one here, DC, the Mavericks trade. This happened several days ago. Kyrie Irving and Markieff Morris for Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, a 2029 first round pick and 2 second round picks for Mr. Kyrie Irving in the Mavericks. So, you know, there you go.
Yeah. Great move by Dallas, but obviously we talked about this before. I see them being a little flawed defensively. Ultimately, you got a way to get Kyrie, and this is all you got to give up to do it. You're going to do it. And I think probably one of the better moves, other than probably a Lakers move, they could have got, I guess those picks might have been better from the Lakers, but shoot, they were smart enough to not want to help the Lakers, unlike all the other teams. But solid move from Dallas, man. Dangerous team. I don't know what they're going to do about defense, but they do have the firepower to try to beat you with just getting buckets.
Indeed. Shout out to Aramis, man.
Yeah, it's the truth. It's the truth, my man. I'm just telling the truth. I may make a joke out of it, but honestly, I really think that's messed up. It's disrespectful. And just on the team's part, man, just out of just some type of heart, man. I just trade the guy. Like, why keep Scottie Pippen Jr. and you bringing this guy, and that's just wrong, man.
All right. So once again, the big trade for us Pelican people is the fact. Thank you, Aramis, for that super chat, bro. Pelicans acquire Richardson from Spurs. From the Spurs, they give up. They get Richardson for Devonte Graham and 4 second-round picks, which was a solid move. The Pelicans add to their team.
Well, we won one of the last moves of the day. IQ finally got to us.
That's right. Start and finish. And there you go. So Richardson joins the team, man. He'll give us some defense and offense off the bench that helps the Pelicans out. It's a plus more so than a minus. And it's good. So like I said, this is what he does for you. For the family members that's joining the show, 11.5 points right now through the season is what he's given you. 3 rebounds, 3.3 on assists, and 43.6% shooting from the field. And he's about a 36% shooter from downtown. This regular season, he's just 35.7. I rounded up about 36, but his career is 36 and a half shooting from the field. So the guy plays defense and he can score for you. And this is what you're giving up. Devonte Graham, 5.3 points per contest. He's a guy, third guy coming off in terms of the point guard there, undersized, but Josh Richardson is 6'6", 200 pounds. And this is, to me, a definitely good trade and an upgrade to help out the bench. And if we have problems with somebody in the starting lineup, Josh Richardson, been in the league for a while, can come in and kind of help you out there. All right, DC, let's take a jump here and move on to the next one.
Shout out to old Baldy, man, real quick before we move on. He said, I don't see who in the West can handle a healthy Zion. And he must got a lot of wisdom without that hair, man, because you're right. Out of all of these moves, I've seen nothing to address that.
The next one, Andrew Lopez tweets, Zion Williamson will not play in the next 3 games and will not play in the All-Star game. Willie Green said the team will not see the starting 5 they started the year with before the All-Star game. Expect Williamson to be reevaluated once again after the break from his hamstring injury. Thank you, DC. Comment.
Why will he do that to us, bro? Why he could just say Zion ain't playing? What are you trying to give us, clues or something? Is Willie trying to be the Riddler right now?
Well,
we will not see the starting 5 that started the year before the All-Star game. So does that mean that Zion ain't playing? That mean we gonna have a different starting lineup even when Zion come back? We'll get that, coach. But yeah, you said it, Q, and I was in strong disagreement. Rightfully so, because I think we should allow Zion to not be babied so much. I don't think it's any fault of his own. I think he wants to play, try and push it. Maybe this is the correct move. I didn't see the scans. Don't know how serious of an injury it is. It's always way longer than when it was supposed to be for Zion when he gets an injury. And a lot of times I think he's ready. They're just being overly cautious.
But they're not going to let it happen. That's I
think they're being too cautious, man. And he's going to be a superstar. This dude could possibly be the face of the league, man. You got to let him play. We got to have to deal with the results. But I understand we got to be wise and we got to be very judicious about making those decisions and just use wisdom and not do that when he really shouldn't. But other times, I think we just extend these processes too long. And my theory on it is when you continue to baby stuff like that, not allow the player to push through, yeah, it's going to hurt. Yeah, he's going to experience some soreness, but that don't mean he shouldn't play at all. Like, you got to push through some of this and allow his body to get stronger. He's young. He's able to do it. So if you want him to stop getting injured, we got to stop being so cautious with him. I think that type of process just leads to more injuries.
You make a point on that. I think that definitely would.
Can't hear you, Big Q.
You can't hear me?
There you go. You're back.
Okay. All right, so what I'm saying is,
well, you were back. Maybe something going on my end.
Put one in the chat if y'all can
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. DC might be experiencing some problems right now. And we
Yeah,
got
there you go.
DC is on the road. I think he's DC. Are you using the hotel internet?
So I was going in and out, or you were going in and out?
No, I didn't. You weren't going in and out. Okay, Jessica says she can't hear. Okay, put one in the chat if y'all can hear, man. Okay, everybody said they can hear. Okay. All right. So anyway, let's keep it going for those. All right. So this is the thing I'm seeing, man, like with this, and this is just how they've been handling Zion Williamson since he's been here. Okay. Shout out to you. Thank you, family.
Get back to the part where you were saying I was right.
Okay.
I heard that much.
Oh, you don't get that too often, do you, DC?
Oh yeah, I want ahead. What was I right about again? Enlighten me.
I'm saying you were right in with some of the stuff you were saying about the player pushing through his injury to toughen up. I agree with you on that. But the take on the Pelican staff is being that Zion had all these issues early on in the first year of his agreement, of the deal, that they're, the way they're doing it is when he gets hurt, they kind of playing chess here. And I said that. I was like, listen, you won't see these guys, all 5 of these guys, playing until after the All-Star break because they'll be setting the table for them for a playoff push. That's what the whole game plan. That's the big view of the room. The grand view, is for them to get them guys on the court at the same time after the All-Star break. Zion, BI, all those guys are there. Hopefully, we'll get Dyson Daniels, and we'll make this push toward the playoffs. And I think that's what's more paramount in their minds as opposed to him playing before the All-Star break. Is nothing more important than the team getting to the playoffs. That's the priority that the Pelicans are playing with. Now, the medical staff are working with them, but I don't know if there's so much just all the medical staff. I think a lot of it is the brass at the top trying to protect Zion Williamson to a degree to get them in that window where they're all together. So we got to get all these guys.
Are they trying to protect Zion, or are they trying to protect their money?
I think both, DC. It's a mutual interest. I mean, it's a mutual thing because you got to protect the money because Zion represents a lot of money for you. You'll make it, and of course the team as well, because the team is built around him and BI and of course CJ. They, the money ties them together, the contracts tie them together, and they've constructed a very good team. And this is the year, based on all the failures we had from the past years. Now we have a supreme opportunity to line these guys up and aim them at the playoffs. We got 20-something games after the All-Star break is over with, where we can get these guys on the court at the same time and get them ready. That's more than enough time to get us in shape and ready for the playoffs. So a lot of the moves that we seen with the Kevin Durant and the Kyrie Irvings and all these moves that the Clippers made when they traded to get Gordon and Bones Hyman, and with the Lakers, especially with the Lakers did, all that is in preparation of the Pelicans, because despite all of the stuff that they're doing, they're looking at the Pelicans and saying, God damn, the Pelicans after the All-Star break, they're going to be a team that's going to be tough to deal with. So that's why you see all these leapfrog ass moves by some of these other teams in the West to beef up for the Pelicans. They see that buzzsaw coming. They see it. But anyway, that's my take on it. They looked at the important perspective of the brass and the top people at the medical staff is that they're going to get these guys together for a final push toward the playoffs, because that is paramount. So that's what I'm saying. So DC, you're right about the player playing through the injuries. Unfortunately, they're going to take more of a conservative approach because of that philosophy. All right, so let's take a look at the Western Conference as it stands. The Pelicans, DC, several games ago, bro, before our 3-game winning streak, the 10-game lose streak, Pelicans was outside the top 10. Now you look at it with 3-game winning streak, family. We're going to recap the Atlanta matchup tonight too. Pelicans have climbed back to the number 7 spot. And they're a game from catching the Clippers, a game from catching the Suns, a game from catching the Dallas Mavericks, and in 3 games from getting into the top 4. So as you can see, we said that. So the Pelicans are picking up the pace at the right time, and we just need to finish strong going into the All-Star break. So this is the Western Conference as it stands. DC, if you want to comment on this, bro, we'll keep pushing.
You goddamn right I want to comment on this, man. The Pels are the 7th seed. We was just 11. So as you can see, we're climbing pretty fast. We got a lot of people that have some stuff going on in the West, mixing things up. So you're going to see some of the teams that we probably are fighting to get on top of go up. You know what I'm saying? You got Phoenix actually sitting pretty right there with 30 and 26, but I mean they will have a transition period getting rid of Mikal Bridges, as well as Dallas. You know they might also lose some games. Um, I think we own a tiebreaker against Sacramento and Denver. I don't know if we can get that high with Denver though.
I'm not certain on the Sacramento thing, bro. I'm gonna have to check on that. But I know I think we are tied with Denver, if I'm not mistaken. So, but yeah, those will come down to it, man. And it's just, you know, DC, we look at the big trades that happen, like what the Lakers right now are not even in the top 10, not even close, but they pushing. Right now, they on I think a 2-game slide.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I think the Lakers are gonna lose some more games. All of those guys got to get there. They got to get acclimated. They got to get the chemistry together. They got to find out who's playing what roles, how to play with LeBron. You know, this is like a 10, 12 game adjustment going on where I don't think the Lakers are going to look just otherworldly. And besides, they got a lot of role players, so that doesn't necessarily make them otherworldly. But when these guys get going, man, they're going to be a very formidable team. But like you said, they're under the Oklahoma City Thunder right now. So Lakers probably definitely make the play-in. I slided them to be in the 8th spot when the season started. I slided Memphis to be around 3 or 4. Who did I have? I had the Warriors at 1, so I'm gonna be wrong about that. I had us at 2. Had Phoenix around 6 or 7. They had 5. Maybe they go up. And I had the Clippers around that 3rd spot, and they could possibly go up too. So we got a lot going on, man. But the Pels have one of the easiest schedules down the stretch. We don't play a lot of these teams. We're done playing the Clippers. I think, haven't we finished all our matchups with Denver, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe we played them one more time. I know we played Memphis one more time. We probably play Sacramento again, which I'm not scared of them. I don't think they can beat us, especially when Zion gets back. We probably got some games against the Timberwolves. Maybe Portland. I'm sure OKC probably a couple of times. We got a lot of teams that don't have great records that we're gonna be going up against, and then you can look at a lot of these other teams. Sure, that won't be the thing for them. I don't think the Lakers have an easy path to do what they're trying to do, and I think the ball is still in our court, man. And like we said, a lot of these moves were made because they're scared of the Pelicans. You know what I'm saying? We showed what we could do. We had a slide with BI out, but now we back on track and we're climbing up pretty fast. I don't think it's going to take that long for us to be back in the top 5, top 4.
Yeah, it's just better than what we've seen of the previous 10-game slide when we were out of it. But like I was saying, we were within 3 to 4 games from the top 4 guys in the Western Conference. So Pelicans turning it on, man. We could finish out strong. Speaking of which, DC, let's go into the previous matchup that happened yesterday. The Pelicans were able to just take down the Atlanta Hawks 116 to 107. Brandon Ingram put up 30 points on 11 of 18 shooting from the field. Let's jump right into the team statistics on this jam-packed episode of the Pelican postgame report. Pels 45 of 91 from the field, 49.5% shooting from the field. They were 12 of 32 from downtown for 37.5%, 14 of 21 from the charity stripe. Had they shot a better percentage, they would have completely pushed the lead further. It was just 67% from the foul line. The Hawks 38 of 85 for 45%, 12 of 36 from downtown for 33.3, 19 of 25 from the free throw line for 76 flat. Pelicans almost 50 rebounds in the matchup versus 41 by the Hawks. Pelicans the Hawks 30 to 28 in the assist game. Pelicans 8 to 4 on the steals. Hawks 6 to 2 on the blocks. Only 10 turnovers by the Pelicans, 13 points off versus the Hawks 12 with 12 points off, 17 to 8 fast break points advantage Pelicans, and 56 to 40 points in the paint Pelicans. DC, some nice looking statistics here on the matchup, bro. Can you hear DC? I think we lost DC. All right, so let's keep it pushing.
I'm here. I'm right here, man. I had myself still muted. No, I don't eat plantains. It's kind of nasty.
Okay, my
But
bad. Okay, there you go.
well, I think you know all about it though. You sound like one of them guys that fry 'em. Don't you look like a Jamaican chef? Like somebody should have like a Jamaican restaurant or something. You could very well pass as a Jamaican cook, bro. You ought to do one of those when you do the cooking with Big Q. You ought to put your like a little Rasta hat on and cook a Jamaican dish.
Can I borrow the one you wear?
Cook some of that that sugary ass curry chicken you make. It's good as hell, but it was sweet.
All right, man. Answer the damn questions on the stats, man. Goddamn.
But like I was saying, man, the stat that jumps out to me in the last 3 games, it's constantly been jumping out, is the turnovers, man. The turnovers, man. When the Pels are able, to not turn the ball over, man, keep it around close to single digits, we are a dangerous team, bro. We stop turning the ball over because we gonna get turnovers.
You're right.
We're going to get turnovers. We're number 2 or number 3. I don't know. Maybe we went up because we had a lot of turnovers the last 3 games. I haven't checked in a while. We're number 1, 2, or 3 team in steals. Herb Jones is like top 6 in steals for a player per game. We gonna get turnovers. So if we cannot turn the ball over, man, that's a huge advantage. That's when you start seeing the other stat I'm looking at, 17 fast break points. You hear Coach talk about it all the time, man. When we can get out and run, we're a different team. When you get out and run, we're a different team. Not that we play bad in the half court. It's just we can't play half court ball all game. Look for a CJ midi or a BI midi. We got to get some easy buckets in transition, right? And then you look at the other stat, as well as you can go over a lot of them, but I'm going to just touch on the 3-point shooting, right? You see us not turning the ball over, and that translates into us not shooting 20% from 3-point line. We shot 37%. Like, obviously, you can shoot better. That's not bad. But 37% on 32 attempts, that's not bad, man. That's kind of closer to where we want to be. B.I. only took 1 3-pointer, but what did he do? He made life extremely easy for Trey Murphy. And when you look at those games with Trey, I think Trey done hit like 14 3-pointers. They were talking about it in the press conference afterwards. He done hit like 14 3-pointers or something like that since B.I. came back in like 3 games out of maybe 21 or something. He had 14 of them. So he's getting easy shots. We shot horrible from the free throw line, but it didn't matter. We still commanded this game the whole time. Right. We put ourselves in position to have the ability to have a little breathing room to make some mistakes because nobody plays perfect, right? But the key to success for us is to not turn the ball over, because when we turn the ball over, for whatever reason, our half-court defense is amazing. But our transition defense for a while just hasn't been the best for some reason. And a lot of it has to do with, live ball turnovers. Some of them bad shots. CJ kind of do his thing where he might jack up a shot here or there. We had Devonte Graham do it sometimes. Stuff like that can kind of be like a turnover on top of us turning the ball over 15, 16, 18 times. One game, I think we had, 24 turnovers or something like that. So we cut down on the turnovers, man, and we can get out and run. Shout out to Herb, too, because he forced a lot of these turnovers and created fast break opportunities. Even though he might have not got the assist or scored the points, he did a lot of that, over these last 3 games. So shout out to him. And when we can do that, man, this is a different team. We're very hard to beat for anybody. On top of stat ain't up here of Herb locking up. Was it Ice Trey? Yeah.
Trey Young.
Yeah. Little Trey Young, man. Put the clamps on that boy, man.
He made him look real.
Oh, he put the clamps on him, boy.
Yeah, that made the difference. Let's get into individuals and cover some of that, DC, because, yeah, he really did a phenomenal job on Trey Young, man. Struggled. He only had 16 points. He's much of their offense. So B.I. finished the game 30 points in the matchup, 36 minutes, 11 of 18 from the field, 8 of 9 from the charity stripe. He finished with 30 points, 8 assists, 3 boards, and plus 13 on the plus minus for B.I. 21 from C.J. McCollum in 35 minutes, 8 of 23 from the field. He's 4 of 12 from downtown. Damn. But he still finished with 21 points, 7 assists, 6 boards in the matchup. For C.J., 16 apiece for by Trey and Valanciunas. Val finished with 16 points, 14 boards in 26 minutes. He was 8 of 10 from the field. Trigger Trey Murphy in 32 minutes, 16 points, 4 boards, and a couple of assists right there, plus 8 on the plus minus, 11 from Herb, and a ton of defense on Trey. 11 in 40 minutes, DC. 11 points, 9 boards, 4 assists, 3 steals, and a block, plus 9 for Herb in the matchup. And, of course, off the bench from the Pels, Larry and Najee with 7 points apiece. Larry had 7.6 boards, 2 steals, a couple of assists. He had 23 minutes and 3 of 6 from the field. Najee, 7 points and an assist in 25 minutes of the game. Jose Alvarado finished with 6 points in 16 minutes, a couple of boards and a couple of assists. And KLJ got 10 minutes, 2 points, 3 boards and an assist. Pelicans take it away from the Hawks, and they improved that 3-game winning streak. Now, Bogdanovich, 31 minutes. He had 22 points in 31 minutes. He was 5 of 9 from downtown, 19 for Murray in the matchup. But Trey Young was the dude that really stunk in this one. He gave him 16, but did give him 16 assists. So it was a double-double, 16 points, 16 assists. He didn't shoot that well from the field. 4-14, 2 of 8 from downtown, 15 from Collins, 13 from Capella, and a W for the Hawks. So DC, talk your mess.
Yeah, go ahead and leave the stats up here like this, BQ. I can't see the other ones right now on my thing. But yeah, I got 4 guys, man, I want to point out and highlight for this excellent team victory we had. You know, everybody played well. You know, that's kind of been the theme on this little 3-game winning streak we got. Everybody's dialed in, playing good D, making smart decisions. Bad game by CJ though, man. I wish he would took less shots. Blowout probably been bigger, but you know he was playing awesome until this game. Took a little too many shots, man. We need to get some more for BI or Trey this game. But ultimately, our starting lineup was awesome, man. CJ did some good things as well too. Just didn't shoot really well. But I want to start with Big V, man. Big V checked in, and when I looked at this at the game after the game, I couldn't believe it. Q. He had the quietest 16 and 14 game I ever seen, man. I almost forgot he was out there. You know, this game. We had so much action going on with our defense and, you know, kind of making it hard for Atlanta and BI being back, me watching him work that midi and the big threes by Trey. Kind of got lost in the shuffle, at least for me, a lot of what Big V did and how awesome he played. Shot at 80%, gave you 26 minutes, you know, got 14 rebounds, gave you 16 points, man. Got a little bit of foul trouble, only turned it over once and gave you a block. Excellent game by him. You know, Larry closed the game, you know, and he comes in and for defensive purposes. So he played 23 minutes. He pretty much spotlighting the sharing time with Big V that's working for us. But Big V played awesome, man. Moving on to my next guy, Trey Murphy. Trey Murphy alluded to it, how he loves having BI back because Trey is still working on aspects of his game where he can create his own shot. So having BI there just makes life easy, man, because they got to double him. You know, you got to double him. Big V get to working in the post like he was. You got to double him too. CJ, you can't just let him go one-on-one. So who's that free up? Trey Murphy. He got 9 3-point attempts, man, made 4 of them things. 6 to 13 overall. You know, a couple of dunks in there in transition. Gave you 4 rebounds, 2 assists, no turnovers. Pretty clean game by Trey, man. We need you. That's close to that mark. About 15 shots a game he need to get, man. No less than 10. Needs to take at least 5 3-pointers every time you step on the court. He took 9. So getting more attempts up is really his thing, and I think we're gonna see that grow even more as he continues to play with BI. And when Zion comes back, gonna get some wide open shots. Moving on to our next guy, man. He's one of, if not, you know, but BI played awesome too. But I would say Herb and BI would be co-players of the game. Herb went out. He gave you 11 points on offense. Got you 9 boards, man. Messed around. Gave you 4 assists too. You know, gave you 3 steals. And he got a block. Didn't turn the ball over. And was able to keep his fouls under control at 4 because he was on everybody. You know, to be trying not to give him them calls, get some bad calls sometimes. I'm pretty sure he got a bad one that night. But offensively, you're looking at it. Hey, DC, why are you saying Herb could have been player of the game? Because we just looked at Trey Young's stats, and he pretty much was on Trey Young for the majority of the night, man. And he forced 3 turnovers. Well, he forced more than 3 turnovers, but he got credit for the 3 and the steals. And Herb was just all over the place, man. He just looked phenomenal that night. He's not settling for those 3-pointers that don't feel right to him. He's attacking the basket, creating opportunities for his teammates. And as long as he plays like that, man, I think he can quiet a lot of the haters, like people like Big Q saying he's going to get out the starting lineup. And we'll be happy with Herb right there.
Hater now?
Huh?
I'm a hater now?
You heard that? I thought you might have went to the bathroom or something. But let me talk about BI. Then you can get on this. BI, man, came back, gave you a 30 ball, looked awesome, looked like the superstar that we know he is. Some of them say all-star, we say superstar. BI got that type of potential and talent. And you can see it on full display. He gave you 30, then turned around and gave you 8 assists too. 3 rebounds, 1 steal, only -5 turnovers, but getting back from playing ball, he's making some passes, forced a couple of them. They got picked, no big deal. 8 or 9 from the free throw line, man. And I mean, he just looked unstoppable. The game looked real easy to him. BI was doing his thing out there, creating for his teammates. When he saw opportunities to score, when the defense was laying off of him, he took them. When they tried to over pursue, gave it up for his teammates, man, and it resulted in big win. So you had BI the MVP on offense, and Herb gonna be the MVP on defense, making them co-players of the game for me. Now, what you were saying, Big Q?
Nothing, bro. Just Herb, as long as he be doing what he doing, bro, I'm good with that, man. So
okay.
So I don't think that makes the brother a hater, man. It's all good. All right, let's keep it going, man. Here goes some of the team averages for the family members.
I mean, a guy just got here, man, and you trying to put him in the starting lineup, bro. You're not showing a lot of loyalty.
I'm saying, bro, at some times, Willie has the options. It's all about options. That if you need options. something, that's right, options.
What are we talking about?
More
Saints?
options.
You talking about the Saints and Taysom Hill?
I didn't say nothing about no Saints. I'm talking about options. He gives you the option to use him in that way. He's 6'6". He's a guy that can play defense and score. So if you need him to do that, you got.
That man don't even know the plays yet, Q.
I'm saying it's all about options. He'll learn those plays. Trust me, he's a professional. All right, here go the team averages right now. 48% shooting what the Pelicans are doing right now. That's good for 10th in the league. Their 3-point shooting, 35.7%, 18th in the league. They're DC 17th in free throw percentage, 78% flat. You see the offensive rebounds, good for 11. The defensive rebounds, good for 12th. You see rebounds overall, top 10, top 9. Actually, assists, top 9. Steals, second in the NBA. Blocks, 23rd. Turnovers, 10. And there you go, the rest of that stuff. So the average is 115.5. That's good for 11 in the NBA. So that's some of the statistics right there for your New Orleans Pelicans to show y'all that the Pelicans ain't playing, baby. All right, so anyway, let's move on to the next matchup that we have. This one's on for tomorrow, family. 9 p.m. tip-off time, Smoothie King Center. We up in this thing. 29-27 Pelicans 3-game winning streak. They take on the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are 35-22, 12-16 on the road. Now, Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell are listed day-to-day. That's 2 of the top offensive performers for the Cavaliers. A very good team. Jared Allen is their top rebounder with 10. You see Garland 8.1 on the assists. Mitchell averages 27 a game. CJ right now is listed as our top offensive threat. Big V at almost 10 rebounds per contest. CJ 6 assists through 35.1 minutes of action. Pelicans short list of injuries. Dyson's out. Zion out, and Josh Richardson listed as day-to-day against them Cavs. Cavs currently on a 4-game winning streak, DC. Pelicans on 3-game. Cleveland's on a 4-game winning streak. They're coming into the blender. Something's got to give. Remember, the Cavaliers did beat the Pelicans the first time around when we were up there. We got to pay them back. Let's get into it, DC.
Yeah, man, tough game. Got 2 of their major players day-to-day. One of them may not suit up, but knowing the Pels, we just going to say they're going to be here. Everybody likes to show up playing the Pels. This would be a tough get. Last time we played this team, we got blew out the building, but we didn't have a BI, and they had all of their guys. So um, we'll see how this looks. I think this is a very gettable game. We're gonna need Herb to stay on the level that he's at. You got to minimize one of these guys, man. Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell are amazing players. Both of them can explode on you. And actually, the game that they beat us, it was more of Darius Garland instead of Donovan Mitchell. I think he got a little banged up injury in the game and wound up leaving that game, and we still got our butts whipped. But thanks a lot's different since then. The mentality of the team has changed. We broke that skid we was on that losing streak. Got good vibes going on around right now. A lot of the guys dealing with the fact that they're not going to be going anywhere. We had a lot of players in trade talks. I'm sure that's going to create some level of raise in chemistry. The Pelicans are, at the moment, very entrenched in their ways of playing Pelican basketball, man. Getting turnovers, getting out running, not turning over the ball. Nothing changes with Cleveland. If we can be able to handle that and follow that mold, we can get this victory. But this is a tough out. You got guys like Evan Mobley, who you have up on the screen. Extremely good scorer in the paint. Also has a nice little shot, too. Can stretch that out to 18 feet or so. You got Jared Allen, who is a great defender. Somebody who can make life hard for a guy like Jonas Valanciunas. Or BI when he's attacking the paint. He's going to get a couple of blocks. He does that every game. Then you got the two scores, the 1-2 punch of Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell. Darius Garland, as you can see, when Big Q had him up there, 30 points his last game. That was the last game against us probably. But he shot 50% from three-point line. This was a guy I was extremely high on. You can say this was the first Cam Reddish, as Q would say. I remember that whole summer I kept telling Q, man, we got to get Garland. We got to get Garland, man.
You did say that. I give you that.
I said that a lot, man, before the draft even got here, and saw the potential in this young man, and he's really starting to pan out. And just think, family, we could have had Darius Garland instead of NAW or Jackson Hayes. That's what I was proposing, to keep the fourth pick, draft Darius Garland, but at the time we had Lonzo Ball and Drew Holiday. But we knew one of those guys wasn't going to stay here. And now we have neither one of them. And we could have had him. But nonetheless, love the team we got. Doesn't matter. But we cannot allow Darius Garland to kill us from the three-point line and to also get 11 assists. If that happens, along with Mobley doing what he does, or Donovan Mitchell having a pretty similar game, or hitting his average, there's no way we can win. So this game is really going to be important to the way the Pels want to play basketball, and it's going to start on the defensive end. Not that we can't outscore Cleveland, but that's not how we win games. We win games with defense first, and our defense turns to offense. That's truly our identity, and when we play within that, we get W's.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. The Pelicans defense, man, that's the thing that Willie been kind of putting up there. And if you can see it's in full view. Not only just the defense, the Pelicans are not turning the ball over a lot these last couple of games. If you check them out, man, they've been doing a pretty good job in terms of that. Now, they could shoot a lot better from the foul line, but you can't really, I guess you can tighten that part of the game up if you really want to put the microscope on it. But they've played really well defensively. They kept them turnovers down, and they've executed. So, yeah, like you said, we're going to need to do that. This is going to be a tough matchup, man, once again, because you mentioned Darius, you mentioned Donovan Mitchell, but Jared Allen plays really well. And, of course, Mobley's a guy you got to pay attention to. And they got some players off the bench that can get going. That's Karis LeVert on that bench. Ricky Rubio's supposed to be playing. I think he's playing. I think he's good to go in this matchup. So they got a couple of guys, and Kevin Love, he just sits there and stand in the corner and try to knock shots down. But they have a few players that make it.
Well, they've officially announced they removed him from the rotation, Big Q.
Did they?
I don't know why they needed to officially announce that.
Did they?
I'm not a Cleveland Cavaliers fan. For some reason, I know that because they told it to the world for some reason. Guess maybe they were trying to trade him. but he's officially not a part of the rotation.
And that's
So
after the
they're
trade
basically
deadline?
saying he's officially washed. That was before the trade deadline. So maybe
Oh.
they said that so they could try to get an offer for him, and guess nobody ain't want him.
So
But
they might bring him back. Very well might decide to bring him back into the rotation.
Quick question, man. I think we spoke some stuff in the chat here. We got a lot of people going back and forth. Maybe this is Josh Richardson in the comments. Josh Gregg. He's saying that Josh would be the second best or third best defender on the team now that he's here. You agree with that? Because me myself, I would say Herb. I would say Dice.
Man name is Josh George, man.
That's what I said, Josh George. But he likes Josh Richardson a lot, so I thought maybe doing the
So
Kevin Durant thing.
So you call him man.
That might be Josh Richardson in the chat, man. I don't know.
DC, cut it out. The man name is Josh George, and you call him Josh Richardson because he likes Josh Richardson. That's like calling you Cam Reddish because you like Cam Reddish.
That might be his burner.
All right, enough. What are you saying, bro? What are you saying? The man saying, bro?
So I would like to propose to anyone in the chat. Do y'all agree with my man Josh, or do we feel that you got guys better than him? Because the conversation seems to be, was entertaining to me, reading between you guys, that Najee Marshall, some people feel like may even be better than Josh. Dice Daniels and Herb, then possibly Josh? Or do we feel Josh is number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, whatever? And what you think, Big Q?
You asked me if is he better than the guys we got on the bench? Is that what you asking?
Would he be one of the better defenders on the team now that we have this brother?
I would say yeah, he would be, because I would say yes to that, because Josh Richardson, his game works for the Pelicans. He's not afraid to play defense. He's a guy. He's 6'6". He can play defense. He doesn't shy away from it. And he's a guy that gets gritty, which if you need him to get gritty, he fits the Pelican mindset to the T.
Okay.
And he's also a guy that can get buckets if you needed him. That's why I was saying he provides an offensive option too, because you don't lose anything with Josh Richardson. You don't lose any defense and you don't lose any offense. He's a guy that can come in there and help. Especially in what I like about it is he comes off the bench with everything else we have, and he fits their mentality. He fits in Jose Alvarado or Najee Marshall or Larry Nance. He fits in with those guys perfectly. His mentality would mesh. So I do think he would become one of the top, not the top, but he can be mentioned amongst one of the top defensive people when it's all said and done. I think he provides good value.
So you're saying he's better than Najee Marshall? I'm just reading to that from what you're saying. Do you think he's better than Dyson Daniels? Because my man Josh here say Dyson Daniels will get put on the block within seconds in the playoffs. I don't know, but I don't think you've been watching Dice, bro. Dice can go 1 through 5. We didn't see him swing centers shit into the stands. Dyson Daniels is pretty good defensively. The only person better than him defensively on this team is probably Herb Jones. B.I. is a damn good defender too. I think that gets slept on. But Dice is that's pretty good. And he's not 110, bro. Dude like 6'7", probably almost 180, 175, something like that. Dice ain't super little, but he's obviously not he put a little weight on. What is he?
200
pounds. So look, I'm undershooting him. He's 6'7", 200 pounds, man. I don't know about the 110 soaking wet. I think you need to get a bigger TV, my brother. But yeah, I like Josh, and rightfully so, George. About to call you. I keep getting mixed up with Josh Richardson. But I'm just say George. Your guy, man, he is really good defensively. Family, I think Josh has a little bit of an argument. I don't think he's better than guys we have. I could say maybe he's a tie with Najee. He seems to be a similar type player like that defensively. You know what I'm saying? But man, I like him. Definitely think he helps. We become a better defensive team because of him, as well as a better offensive team.
Man, he brings.
I'm just waiting to seeing it in action, man. I'm waiting to see it in action. We need him right now because Dice is out, and judging by the Pels, you know how we are. We just in limbo and we deal with all type of nursery rhymes and riddles and shit when we trying to figure out when our people are gonna get back. So I guess Dice probably won't be back till just gauging the timeline of how things work. Let's say maybe about 3 weeks after the All-Star break. That sound about right, BQ? So
I don't
Josh
know.
will
I don't think
definitely
it'd be
have an
that long.
opportunity. Well, we didn't think Zion would be this long. We actually thought we would get the results on Tuesday.
I think they'd just be
and the
extra with
results
Zion.
came on Wednesday.
I know, but see that they just extra with Zion, bro. That's
They
what
just
I
be
think.
saying shit, bro. I don't get it. Why it's so
Grain of
difficult.
salt. Grain of salt, because you know that's been the history. How they treated this Zion Williamson situation. They'll tell you something and then always add to that time frame. Always add to it because it's never an exact science when they talk about Zion. Even the stuff with BI, and then it was like, oh yeah, BI is good to go, but it's on BI whether or not he plays or not. I'm like, you know, so I mean, at some point, I can see what they're trying to do because they're trying to get these players together, like I said, at the right time to make the push for the playoffs, because that's what's really important to them, not the All-Star game. Obviously not, you know, and it benefits them too if you look at the logic of how the standings are, where everybody within from the Pelicans position at 7th currently in the Western Conference, and then you go up to as far as number 4 where Dallas holds, it's like a four game gap. So it's really not a big, you know, difference in terms of wins. And then the Pelicans got Josh Richardson here to get rid of Devonte Graham. That helps him out. And it gives a guy that's a vet that can come in and help him play. So, you know, I love the Josh Richardson move, and we gave up Graham and some picks to get him second rounders. That wasn't going to really mean anything to us. But in the end, I think it was cool. We still keep Billy Hernan Gomez. We still have Jackson Hayes. And just like you made mention of, DC, the fact that a lot of guys was thinking like they were going to get traded. Now that the trade deadline is over with, that distraction is out of the way and people can focus and key in on the rest of the season, and we can galvanize, get ready for the playoffs. So that is over. And now we can focus on the business of basketball totally. So, you know, that's a big thing. So, Stephanie's, well, Josh says,
you're late, Marley. You're late.
Josh says, do you not see Dyson's misassignments that vets read easily?
Well, I mean, he's a rookie, man. So I mean, you gotta come on now. Yeah, he's gonna miss some assignments, bro. We see it, but I've seen him make way more plays than he misses defensively, and I've seen him do things that are just abnormal defensively for a rookie. You know, the dude is extremely good. He has Herb level potential defensively, even though he's kind of different in the way he goes about playing his defense. They're both great, but Dice is a little different with the way he does his. But Josh Richardson is a great player too, man. I see you going down that hill, my brother, and rightfully so. Josh Richardson is a good defender. Like I said, I know about him when he was first with Miami, man. I remember watching him. Always thought he was a good player. Didn't understand why he jumped around so much in the league, but maybe that was his choice. Maybe he didn't want to be at a lot of spots. I don't know. He was a 40% some-odd three-point shooter for several years. The brother is the definition of a 3-and-D player, you know. But when we talking about purely just defense, I haven't seen a lot of them, especially this young, like Dice or Herb, man. It's kind of truly special. And I don't think Josh is quite in that tier, but he is a vet, so obviously he's going to be smarter. He definitely will help, and I know he's going to make some very solid defensive plays. He's definitely not a liability there, and he's going to help. And in our system, maybe he does look that good. So we'll just have to wait and see, my man.
I think he fits the identity of the Pelicans, to be honest with you. Keep it real. He fits, he meshes right on in. He can play defense and he can score, and he's an upgrade over Devonte Graham. I don't think there's an issue at all with Josh. I don't think he has an injury. I think what they're doing is, you know, when you get these guys traded in, you know, you have them kind of listed as day-to-day, and it depends on what the Pelicans need to do to get them shipped, because there's no injury situation revolving around Josh Richardson, that I see with him. I just think it's the movement of him getting from wherever he is to here and getting them acclimated and getting them ready to play. But there's no injury to be talked about there, Stephanie. If anybody knows what's going on, fill them in. But based on my research, I don't see anything showing that he was hurt or that he's injured. All right. So anyway, with that being said, thanks for the questions, family. Yeah, DC, and once again, let's take a look at the Western Conference standings for our Pelicans right now. As well, as you can see, once again, the Pelicans are 29-27, 3-game winning streak. They are listed at the 7th position in the Western Conference. They're a game away from catching the Clippers. They're a game away from catching Phoenix, Dallas, and 3 more games from catching Sacramento. So in essence, they just a game from climbing to the 4th spot in the Western Conference. Isn't that something? So the Cleveland matchup could mean a lot. And of course, I think tonight there's some matchups going on in the NBA right now. I don't know if any of these teams that's ahead of us is playing. I might want to check that out.
Well, this is gonna be exciting to watch down the stretch, family. I'm all Pelicans, but just looking at the season and all the trades,
Phoenix and Denver,
might have to watch a couple of games down the stretch, man. This is gonna be very entertaining.
Yeah,
it's gonna play out in the West.
It is gonna be fun, bro. With us tooling up the like we're saying, all that is going. And what's interesting too and fun too is that the long season, a lot of these teams, not just the Pelicans, but how do these other teams look in competition with us? It's going to be cool to see what Phoenix does. That rivalry we had with Phoenix is heightened because of Durant, his trade getting there. The Clippers made a few pieces there to try to get interesting. Dallas, what they did with Kyrie is interesting. Memphis tried to get a shooter, and Denver did whatever, the little small stuff that they got. But in the end, you got teams like Portland that did a little something. The Lakers, with all of these moves and an attempt to jump into the top 10, will be interesting as well. So at the end of the day, and really, truly, that's what they're about a game themselves out of catching Portland for the 10th spot there. So anyway, the guys that's playing tonight that's in the top 6 ahead of us is Denver. They're playing right now. They're losing to the Orlando Magic right now, 65-55 at half, and at the end of the first quarter, Phoenix is losing. They're getting beat by Atlanta 36.
Who they got playing? Who's ready to suit up today?
Right. So, but still,
they probably had nobody there.
Well, it still in all that helps us
out.
Damn,
G League is in.
You're right. It helps us out big time because a loss helps the Pelicans climb even higher on an off day. So, Yaks, who's playing? Chris Paul is playing. DC, he's playing. Torrey Craig's playing. Aiton's playing. Jock Londale's in there, and Damian Lee. So yeah, they ain't got too many people that suited up. Devin Booker is not playing. Coach's decision. Campaign and Landry, they're out. Look like they're listed as out too. So yeah, they got a shorthanded squad, man, playing, but that'll benefit the Pelicans because the Pelicans, man, just need them to lose. And that helps us out, man. That'll move us out. We get promoted on our off day. So that'll be a positive. You dig? So anyway, go ahead, DC.
Well, I just want to say something to my man Josh, man, and Mo.
Man, come on, bro. You
I just want to say we got a new acquisition, and I'm telling the man he kind of right on some of the stuff he's saying. I was just messing with him at first, but yeah, man, you ain't playing hero to Josh, man. No, I don't think he's playing hero. I was just messing with him. But Josh is good, man. He's a vet, strong player. So just wanted to let you know. I don't think you're tripping. I don't think nobody does. But he's a new addition, bro. And we love our guys. So I'll leave you with that, player.
Oh, all right. There go DC.
All right. So when you making this curry? When you gonna make some of that curry so I can
I'm not making
come
curry
get some
right
curry and pass out in that chair again.
Bro, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. You're talking about sweet curry, though. What are you talking about, bro? I don't put sugar in the curry.
Makes an excellent sweet curry out of the world's first Jamaican sweet curry.
You're just the old man. That's all you are, bro.
You put all right. You don't put sugar. You put coconut milk and honey in it or something. Huh?
I ain't telling you my secrets, man. You got to watch the channel like every damn body else.
All right, bro. Cooking with Q. Coming on when, bro? When it's coming on?
I'll let you know, DC. I'll let you know the first dish.
Well, let the family know too, bro, so we can all come cook with you.
Yeah, that's right. There you go. I'll make sure I do that. All right. So with that being said, we're gonna get out on that, fam. We appreciate y'all joining us for this extended edition of the Pelican Post Game Report. Appreciate y'all. being here, man. Please feel free to hit the like button if you hadn't already hit it. Feel free to hit the like button. Also, feel free to hit the subscribe button and the share button. Of all important things, please feel free to share the Pelican Post-Game Report on your social media feed, man. We're a family-centered show, man. Much love here, and we just keeping it some diehards here, man, keeping it real about our Pelicans. VB Saints Pels lady, shout out to you, baby. Thank you for your super chat. Says much prayer for the team's healing, much power. Miss Gale stays out of salary cap hell through next season. Our team grows organically. My inner Griff, Josh, she says Josh T, and cheaper. So go Pels, hey Big Q in DC and the Flockers. Shout out to you, VB. Right. Much love to you, Queen. Appreciate you
that, VB.
And the super chat.
And I like
all y'all family for the super chat.
I like Josh better than Beasley too, fam. I know y'all saying we could have got Beasley. I like Josh better than Beasley because of his defense.
You know what, DC? I would say I like Josh better than Malik Beasley too, bro. I just think, listen, the Pelicans zeroed in. And at first, I was thinking this in my head about Josh Hart. I was like, man, the Pelicans, probably, Josh Hart is going to be on there. If they really wanted Josh, they can reach you, kind of bring Josh Hart back. I was thinking that at first, but getting Josh Richardson, that's big, man. A big combo guard is, not a combo guard, but he's a big guard, 6'6", guy that can play defense and shoot. Man, I cannot be mad at this. So kudos to the administration at the Pelicans for doing this, man. This was a smart move. It improves the team. We didn't give up nothing before Devonte Graham, ridiculous monster contract. Well, not monster, but he's $11 million. Monster for him off the bench, third guard. It clears the way from some of our other guys, and it provides a guy this season that can help the Pelicans in terms of injury happen. He improves our bench. This is a solid move. Trust me on that one. Very solid move by the Pelicans. I congratulate them. And I think the family and the flock for understanding that, man, that the Pelicans are tooling up for, which is going to be an interesting playoff run, man. So they're going to hold Zion to after the All-Star break. I think that's a very smart move to do. And we'll be super excited after the All-Star break to get B.I., Zion, then later on Dyson Daniels, Josh Richardson. All these guys will be on the court at the same time, and you're going to see the absolute
what about EJ Liddell, man? I wonder if there's any possibility he could come back.
Probably next year, DC. I'm thinking, like, what I'm getting on EJ Liddell is that he's a next year type of dude. You know what I'm saying?
Did we give him a contract and a roster spot though?
I want to say they did. You remember we covered that? I wanted to say we did. We
did.
Squeezed them in. Yeah, they squeezed them in on one. Remember, they was going back and forth to see if they could land with that guy that we liked. What's his name from Iowa State, but he couldn't stay healthy. But I want to say
he tore his ACL, I think, in a workout with us, and we kind of swept it under the rug. But we gave him some money and some stuff like that. I forgot his name.
Yeah, me too. I forgot the brother name, but I liked him, man. He was a guy that was a baller. But anyway, with that being said, we're gonna get out on that. Listen, I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for being here and spending your time with me. Please feel free to hit the like button, hit the share button, share it on your social media feed. Let them know the Pelican Post-Game Report is in the building. With that being said,
because sharing is caring. Y'all care if y'all share.
That's right. You heard DC said it. We're gonna holler at y'all on the flip side. We'll be back tomorrow for the recap of the matchup of the Pelicans against the Cavs, and be looking out for the Pelicans Cavs live scoreboard here on the Pelican Post-Game Report. With that being said, we out. Much love and go Pels.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. Check out the Pro Shop. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform stores where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out the Pro Shop and Who